So this one's for the conspiracy theorists out there.
I remember scenes from that movie and I remember being kind of traumatized by it.
Now it's the fact that the intention is so not good and it's completely driven by money and profit and power. That's all it is.
We are big sharers. Learn what we've learned during the course of a week only on Pod Pourri, a magazine that will always be loaded only on the Podcaster, powered by Timber Media.
Avi, Sam, what are you thankful for?
I'm just thankful to be alive and witness all the crazy stuff happening in the world and to understand how the world actually works and to know the truth.
Wow.
At least get one step closer to the truth, if I can.
What a good segue into Pod Pourri.
Yeah.
Sam, what are you thankful for?
I'm just thankful for the fact that I've met a lot of people this year. A lot of new people, a lot of like-minded people. I've, been doing so many things that I've always wanted to do, and I've gotten back to a lot of things that I had, taken a pause over the last 2-3 years. So I think that's definitely something that I'm really grateful for.
Aww.
A lot of new people to me.
I'm just happy. Are we some of those people?
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
I
sure.
I closely coerced Sam into this recording.
She didn't give me an option to say no, so I'll just say it.
So it happens sometimes. I am thankful for the ocean because I got to experience it over the weekend. So it made me very happy.
Oh, yeah.
And also I learned about a new word. So you know what a person who loves the ocean is called?
Talas.
What? How do you know the answer to that?
Because I am one.
What did you say? Did you say
Thalassophile or something.
Thalassophile, yeah. Wow. You're also a thalassophile? Wow.
Hardcore.
Okay, I'm also
Thalassophiles
that.
unite.
I am also that. Didn't know the word, but I am also that.
Sam is immediately
In my
like, don't leave me out.
Don't leave me out. I am also that.
Welcome to Pod Pourri, which is the show where we talk about anything, everything, some of the crazy things that Avi is thankful to be witnessing in life, I guess.
Behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes. Today we've got a bunch of random things that we have learned over the past week or so.
So this one's for the conspiracy theorists out there.
Ooh.
This is regarding the Malaysian flight MH370 that disappeared in 2014. So there's a latest video that's come out in these alternative podcast media that talks to this guy who has come in possession of some video footage of a flight. So till now what we've had in the so-called conspiracy world is footage of aliens that's been shot with a camera from the 1960s or with a very shaky hand, and we can't really see the alien, but everybody claims it's an alien. So in this case we have like really clear footage of the actual event that I'm going to be talking about, but we just don't have the story surrounding it, which this guy who I'll tell you about is has shown us in this podcast.
And half of them come at this and go, wow, this is amazing, this is the best footage we've ever seen. And then the other half are, attacking me, attacking my credibility, which tell me that there's a very real aspect of this that the government is controlling.
So the footage involves this flight. Okay, I'll explain to you how they know it's MH370 and stuff.
Yeah.
But it shows this flight flying over the ocean, and there's these 3 orbs that come around the flight. This is all part of the video, okay? Mm-hmm. So they come and they like circle the flight in a very, robotic AI kind of fashion. And basically what they do is they create a wormhole around the flight based on their movement, and the flight disappears in like half a second. So this is basically footage shot from a US spy satellite. If I'm not mistaken, this is called the US 229 or something like that, which is one of the spy satellites stationed over the Indian Ocean. And it has captured the plane from above. So it's not even a shot from the land below. Now the interesting thing is the plane had 23 semiconductor scientists of Chinese origin.
What? They were passengers?
They were passengers. The plane also had these lithium-ion batteries in huge quantities.
What, on board?
On board, in the cargo hold. So what is interesting is in 2015, a year after the flight disappeared, they outlawed, they made it illegal to actually carry lithium-ion batteries in the cargo holds. So people speculate it could be because of this. So that's one angle. So the story goes on for a bit. So if you want me to
So no one has released an official statement about this?
Nobody has released. In fact, even the mainstream media hasn't shown any interest in it. But, some kid in Las Vegas who saw aliens in his backyard, all the television crews go there and try to interview him. So it's kind of weird that, somebody with actual footage of this event has not been...
So I think whenever we come across things like this, it's easy to pass it off as a conspiracy theory.
Right.
And it's scary to
It
accept
is.
that it might not be one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, when I first heard of it, I totally thought it was a conspiracy theory, but that was because I hadn't read up much about it. And over time, when I got to know a lot more about it and, videos of it on social media, on WhatsApp and all of that, I don't know, it still leaves me with a lot of thoughts. I don't really know whether it was true. I don't really know whether there was something, whether it was probably rigged by the media. I mean, at least the weight of the situation.
But it's strange, right? How does a flight full of people
Exactly.
just vanish into thin air?
It's crazy, man.
That's very
Creepy and
And
very
if anybody thinks that, our technology is like way behind and stuff, get real, because we don't know what the technology the government has. I mean, it sounds like a conspiracy theory. That's what government themselves have coined the term conspiracy theory. So it doesn't hurt to keep an open mind when it comes to things like this.
Speaking of aliens, well, I have some alien stuff too. I mean, well, not particularly alien, but I read that an animatronic head of E.T., our most beloved alien in Steven Spielberg's classic movie, is expected to sell for $1 million in an auction that's going to be held next month in California.
Who is buying it?
I have no clue, but $1 million it is. So I'll just talk a little about this auction, okay? It's called the Julian's Auctions and Turner Classic Movies, which is a big organization that continues to showcase props, costumes, and, really... I don't know, like brilliant artifacts used and worn by different Hollywood actors over the years. So you have artifacts right from Harry Potter's wand used in the Harry Potter movies to, of course, E.T., to a lot of other costumes worn by, say, Audrey Hepburn and Jane Russell and so on in their respective movies, All of this is normally showcased at this auctions. And last year, in fact, the original E.T. head was sold at $2.6 million.
What the heck?
Yeah.
I just want to point out, when you watched E.T. as a kid, okay, because we were discussing this off air, but all three of us have watched E.T., but we're from significantly different age ranges.
Yeah.
So it's one of those movies, and that's great. But when you watched it, did you find E.T. cute?
I didn't find it cute, but my female cousins and stuff like that, they did. I don't know why, because they found the alien very cute and cuddly, I think.
But
I was more focused on the whole...
the
journey.
alienness of it. It's like you buy it, and then I think you sit with the feeling of, wow, I've spent way too much money on this piece of whatever.
Yeah, totally. I mean, to look at it in the eye every single day when you wake up.
That's so creepy. I really hope...
I remember scenes from that movie, and I remember being kind of traumatized by it. I wasn't very young when I watched it. Okay, maybe I was. I have no idea. But I remember being kind of terrified by it.
Right here.
Like, what is the stupidest thing you've spent way too much money on?
Tattoos.
Oh no. Really? Yeah, they're pretty stupid.
I mean, yeah.
Also, they cost a lot.
Yeah, they
For
do.
what they
Yeah,
are,
they
they cost a lot.
Yeah. I have friends who have like a lot of tattoos, and they're frequent tattoo. What's the word?
Tattooers.
Getters.
Tattooers.
Yeah, tattooers.
Tattoos.
Yeah.
And yeah, prices do vary. I mean, for like about a square.
Yeah, but it always starts at like whatever, and that whatever in itself is
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. But yeah, what is the stupidest thing you've spent money on?
I've never really splurged on something
Ooh, you're one of
unnecessary.
those
Yeah, I'm one of those.
You're one of those.
I'm one of those.
I'm really
haven't
glad no one said their education.
that thought into it.
Close second.
Close second.
But we can't say that because our parents spent money on our education, so
Exactly,
it's not us really.
Yeah.
Technically.
I honestly don't know how to introduce my learning.
Let's just say, moving on to something more real.
Cricket. Speaking of cricket, India actually lost the World Cup this past week. Everyone is looking at me like, how dare you bring this up again?
We're not.
Do both of you care a lot?
I stopped watching cricket after the early 2000s actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So did you not watch this match?
I watched bits and pieces of it because my dad was watching.
Got it. But did it hurt when we lost?
Yeah.
No, I kind of expected it because...
Oh my god.
What?
You know, because like 9 victories and then...
Yeah.
Oh, it's too good to be true.
It's too good to be true. I kept saying this to my family. I was like, it's too good to be true. 9 victories in one row.
Yeah.
And I kind of stopped watching after the 35th over because I was like, okay, never mind.
I don't know what happened to me this time. I guess because it's a World Cup, it's like a big deal, right? I'm not that much of a cricket fan, but my mom is like a mad sports person. She has like a blog and everything.
Oh,
so
wow.
she wrote about the World Cup final and she showed it to me as like, go through this. Does it look okay? And I was reading it and I suddenly came upon a thought that I've never come across, which is that, so my mom basically wrote that if IPL becomes the benchmark for quality players and if players are treated like cash cows, then there's no way that the game is going to go anywhere. And I was like, okay, that's an interesting thought. She posted it and everything. Then I was doing some research for the impacts of reality TV for Conversations with Friends. Listen to that when you can. But I came across this video by this YouTube channel called Calm Dev. And the title of the video is How India Stole and Killed Cricket. And I was like, this is too good to miss. I have to watch this conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem like that much of a conspiracy. It is crazy how the BCCI... kind of has become the governing body of cricket, even though it is supposed to be just a national association.
Yeah.
It's wild to me because you've got the International Cricket Council, which is the ICC, and under the ICC or within the ICC, all of these nations have their own cricket governing bodies, right? BCCI somehow, though, has now developed into something that is even bigger than the ICC and even bigger than the game, it feels like. And I thought that the trajectory of it was very interesting. All of my discoveries have been through this video. I really recommend everyone watch it because it's so weird to see. So as an Indian, I think it's a heartstring that gets tugged at when you realize, so back in the day, like ICC was always controlled by England, dictated all of the terms, all of the World Cups were hosted there. There was no rotational policy. And then India in '83 was part of the World Cup final. We actually won that cup. But some minister called NKP Salve, who was at that time the head of BCCI, and asked for 2 extra tickets so that they could watch the match, right? As all of our Indian ministers do. And NKP Salve was like, of course, I'm going to go and get you those 2 extra tickets for free because you are a minister. And then went and asked, I guess, an official at ICC. And they were like, no, we've already given you your quota of tickets. It's not happening. And NKP Salve's ego, I guess, was bruised. And that literally, I think, is the moment that Indian cricketing history changed forever. So he went on to form alliances with Sri Lanka, with Pakistan, and eventually ended up bringing the World Cup to India as an alliance, like as a joint hosting thing. It's also currently the richest cricketing governing body in the world. And the way that it actually started making money, this is very interesting, is broadcasting rights. So, when, and apparently India didn't know this, it was literally when India played South Africa for, I think, a test series, the South African board's administrator or whatever was like, how much have you sold, the broadcasting rights for? And India was like, what broadcasting rights? So the first time they sold their broadcasting rights for $200,000. That's back at that in that time. The next time they sold their broadcasting rights, it was for $6 million, then $5.5 million. And then the numbers just go crazy. In 2001, $54 million. In 2023, Viacom 18 bought the international broadcasting rights for 600 crores. And the IPL, this is the whopper, the IPL broadcasting rights for 23,738 crores.
What?
Exactly.
Repeat, please.
I couldn't even fathom that amount of money, but that is the kind of money that we're talking about the BCCI actually having. And I think it was interesting to see, I don't know if you follow the World Cup this time, you would have seen all of this shore sharaba around it. And like they had the Indian Air Force came and did like an entire air show, which is just so excessive. It's a game, like relax. And then I also thought it was really distasteful how, India was playing Australia, which is literally another country. And in the performance between the two innings, there was this entire dance about India hi jeetega at the final, pretending like there is no other country that plays this game. So I think Australia beating us is kind of poetic in some way.
Poetic justice,
Yeah, it kind of is.
I think this hero worship has got to stop people, even in Bollywood and all the film industries.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of our previous podcast where we saw how music and politics, is so...
It reminded me of that as well,
Yeah, music... I mean, I think politics kind of just seeps into everything.
Yeah.
I mean, earlier we used to look at music or art or even cricket as just a game that, probably has different sentiment in itself. But now with the political infusion of every single thing, it's I don't know.
And the thing that to me feels like a missed opportunity is when I was watching this video, how India stole and killed cricket, that it's actually nice that, Indians, after being historically isolated out of everything when it comes to just international whatever, like even today artists will be like world tour and Asia is just never there. But
except when they're like 75 years old.
Yeah, suddenly I'm waiting to see a great Taylor Swift on stage. But it was nice to see that India suddenly had a say in things back then before the World Cup and stuff. But now it's the fact that the intention is so not good and it's completely driven by money and profit and power. That's all it is. But yeah, that's a wrap on Pod Pourri. We'll be back soon. Check out the previous episode of Pod Pourri that spoke about musicians and politics. Which, by the way, I think that was interesting because art is always used to fight like this stuff.
The system,
Yeah, but cricket is apparently the system. So.
We are big sharers. Learn what we've learned during the course of a week only on Pod Pourri, a magazine that will always be loaded only on the Podcaster, powered by Timber Media.